What comes next for the Philippine Air Force's S-70I Black Hawk fleet? With the formal induction of the fifth batch of Sikorsky S-70I Black Hawk helicopters, the Philippine Air Force, PAF, has reached a critical point in one of its most important modernization programs. 25 aircraft are now in service, leaving just 7 more units to be delivered by 2026 to complete the original order of 32 helicopters under the Additional Utility Helicopters Acquisition Project. But as the fleet steadily grows, a more forward-looking question is beginning to emerge within defense circles: what comes next for the PAF's Black Hawk force? Beyond simply receiving the remaining helicopters, attention is now shifting toward operational maturity, expanded combat roles, long-term sustainment, and the possibility of future upgrades or even additional acquisitions. This follow-up examines how the Philippine Air Force may evolve its S-70I Black Hawk fleet in the coming years, and why these helicopters are increasingly central to the country's air power, disaster response capability, and overall defense posture. From delivery phase to full operational capability, the Black Hawk program is now transitioning from a delivery-focused phase into one centered on full operational capability. While earlier batches were primarily used to build pilot experience, establish maintenance procedures, and replace aging platforms, the growing number of aircraft allows the PAF to think more ambitiously about deployment and mission availability. With 25 helicopters already inducted, the Air Force can sustain continuous operations across multiple regions while still allocating aircraft for training and maintenance. This is a major improvement over the past, when limited helicopter numbers forced difficult trade-offs between readiness and availability. Once the final 7 helicopters arrive, the PAF is expected to reorganize its Black Hawk squadrons to maximize coverage across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. This nationwide distribution is particularly important for a country composed of more than 7,000 islands, where air mobility is often the fastest, and sometimes the only, means of response. The growing role of armed utility helicopters. One of the most significant developments highlighted during the fifth batch induction was the visible installation of M134D Gatling guns on at least one S-70I helicopter. This signals that the Philippine Air Force is no longer viewing the Black Hawk solely as a transport and disaster response platform, but as a true multi-role asset. Armed utility helicopters occupy a critical niche in modern military operations. They are not meant to replace dedicated attack helicopters, but they provide flexibility that pure gunships cannot. A Black Hawk can insert troops, extract casualties, carry supplies, and provide suppressive fire, all within the same mission profile. For the PAF, this capability is especially relevant in internal security operations, where helicopters often operate in close coordination with ground forces in complex terrain. Door-mounted Gatling guns enhance survivability during low-level flight and allow the aircraft to actively support troops during contact with hostile elements. Lessons from recent operations. Operational experience gained from earlier batches of Black Hawks is already shaping how the Air Force plans to use the fleet going forward. Since entering service, the helicopters have been heavily utilized for troop movements, logistic support, and humanitarian assistance missions following natural disasters. These real-world operations have underscored the importance of reliability, speed, and payload capacity, areas where the S-70I has consistently performed well. They have also highlighted the need for enhanced self-protection and fire support, reinforcing the decision to arm at least part of the fleet. As the PAF continues to analyze mission data and after-action reports, it is likely that tactics, techniques, and procedures will continue to evolve. This may include new escort concepts, improved coordination with ground units, and greater integration with other air assets such as attack aircraft and surveillance platforms. Training the people behind the machines. Aircraft alone do not create capability. The success of the Black Hawk program ultimately depends on the people who fly, maintain, and command these helicopters. As the fleet grows, so too does the need for well-trained pilots, aircrew, and maintenance personnel. The Philippine Air Force has already invested heavily in training programs, including simulator use, flight instruction, and technical courses. With more helicopters available, training can now be conducted without severely impacting operational readiness. In the coming years, the Air Force is expected to further professionalize its rotary wing community, potentially sending more personnel abroad for advanced training and working closely with international partners to adopt best practices in helicopter operations and sustainment. Maintenance, sustainment, and long-term readiness. One of the most critical challenges facing any modern helicopter fleet is sustainment. The Black Hawk's reputation for reliability does not eliminate the need for robust maintenance infrastructure, steady spare parts supply, and long-term funding. The Philippine government's emphasis on lifecycle planning has so far helped ensure that the S-70I fleet remains mission-capable. Continued support from the Department of Budget and Management will be essential as the helicopter's age and usage increases. There is also growing interest in expanding local maintenance capabilities, potentially reducing reliance on overseas support. Such a move would not only improve readiness but also contribute to the development of local aerospace expertise. Potential upgrades and future enhancements. As the Black Hawk fleet matures, attention may gradually shift toward upgrades and enhancements. These could include improved avionics, advanced communication systems, better night fighting capability, and additional defensive aids. The modular nature of the S-70I allows for incremental improvements over time, ensuring that the aircraft remains relevant as operational requirements evolve. The integration of additional weapon options or sensor systems could further expand the helicopter's mission set. Any such upgrades would likely be guided by operational experience and budget realities, balancing ambition with sustainability. Is there a case for more Black Hawks? While the current contract covers 32 helicopters, some analysts have begun to ask whether this number will ultimately be sufficient. The heavy operational tempo faced by the Philippine Air Force, particularly during disaster seasons, places significant demands on its helicopter fleet. Additional Black Hawks could provide greater redundancy, reduce wear on existing aircraft, and allow for more specialized configurations. However, any future acquisition would need to compete with other defense priorities under the revised AFP modernization program. Even without additional orders, the existing fleet already represents a major leap forward compared to previous capabilities. The key challenge will be maximizing the impact of the helicopters already in service. Strategic value beyond the battlefield. The importance of the S-70I Black Hawk extends beyond traditional military roles. In a country frequently affected by natural disasters, these helicopters have become symbols of rapid response and government presence. Their ability to reach isolated communities, deliver aid, and evacuate civilians has made them one of the most visible assets of the armed forces of the Philippines. This dual-use role strengthens public support for modernization programs and highlights the broader value of defense spending. In this sense, the Black Hawk is not just a military platform, but a national asset. Conclusion: a program entering its most important phase. The induction of the fifth batch of S-70I Black Hawk helicopters marks the beginning of the program's most important phase. With the majority of aircraft already delivered, the focus is shifting from acquisition to capability, from quantity to quality. Armed configurations, improved training, and growing operational experience are steadily transforming the Black Hawk fleet into a cornerstone of Philippine air power. As the remaining helicopters arrive in 2026, the Philippine Air Force will be well positioned to fully exploit the potential of this versatile platform. What happens next, how the fleet is sustained, upgraded, and possibly expanded, will help determine not only the future of PAF helicopter operations, but also the country's ability to respond swiftly and decisively to both security challenges and humanitarian crises in the years ahead.